Yeah. Besides that, like I said, let's move into the role of PSG and well, what it is, what it does, or what the PSG does in real life, and how we kind of use it in this game to our advantage. You can invite the big T as well. I think the big T.
No, I'm in.
Okay, never mind.
I'm in.
But yeah, as people join in here, as because I know they come up here and they see like us doing random shit. So if y'all want to invite them, y'all can. So they're not just standing here. We're like not talking. Like what the fuck's going on? Um, as long as they can join and be quiet. Um, so yeah, PSG platoon sergeant. Very important role. Like I said, for all these roles that are in infantry platoon. Your platoon sergeant is basically that first level of being a senior non-commissioned officer. It doesn't even really depend on what rank you're on because of that position that you're in. You're you're definitely a senior leader uh, or a senior NCO because of that role you fill because you're in charge of four possibly five squads here once we introduce the weapon squads, and you're basically directly over all four and five of those squad leaders. So basically it's a big step up because you're in charge of four or five people that are in leadership positions. So it's definitely a different mindset. I know Perk can probably talk about all the stuff, all the work and stuff that he does as a PSG, but it is definitely one of the harder jobs because, like I said, there's going to be a lot of
Oh,
admin work as well as a lot of like in-game work with maneuvering your elements and stuff as well. So moving into the off the battlefield jobs for the PSG platoon sergeant. We're going to go and just move into that. So your job as a PSG, especially off the battlefield, Discord wise, is to basically assist your PL on anything he needs, uh, administrative wise. Because basically your PL is a paper bitch most of the time, but PSG is more in touch with the platoon and it's enlisted than the PL is. So it's the job of the PSG to provide that that mindset and that headspace that he has as the PSG to the PL, basically kind of help him out. Because like I said, with the squad leaders knowing their squad more uh, than uh than that PSG is probably going to be. I don't know specifically, but that PSG is probably going to know more about his guys than the PL most of the time. I'm not saying that it's always going to be all this time, but most of the time that PSG is going to know more than the PL, at least about his platoon, as well as what you got to be prepared to do as a platoon sergeant is take over as a platoon leader sometimes, whenever your PL isn't there, especially with the way that we run things here, and especially if PLs can't make it to ops and stuff like that. So PSGs are gonna have to take on a very big workload, especially in our unit here. Um, Basically, they help with the prep, the op prep. They help with the op board, and as well as they help with the CCP and the ORP setup. They help out with that as well. And one of their main jobs, I guess I'm moving into in the battlefield. Their main jobs in the battlefield is getting soldiers back into the fight, especially if you have vehicles at your disposal. If you have vehicles at your disposal, and we do not have Meals on Wheels, if you're just doing like a platoon level op and you don't have company support, such as like I said, Meals on Wheels, it is your job as PSG to get your soldiers back in the fight from wherever your ORP and CCP location is, and get them back with their squads. So that's another very big vital role, which is CASEVAC, because obviously we can't actually evacuate casualties like the PL is supposed to do, not PL, but PSG is supposed to do. So in turn, we make the PSG get the soldiers back in the fight because how important is it to get people back into the fight from the spawn?
very,
Very,
Oh
very
yeah.
very
important.
important.
Very.
Okay, because if
Don't
you
have
have
guys
guys
come back to the spawn. Don't have no support.
if you have
It goes
guys that
downhill
just
from there.
spawn in, if you guys have just guys that spawn in at a spawn point and just run randomly back into whatever, it's a fucking shit show half the time. So actually including that PSG in that process, since the PSG is actively on the battlefield and he knows what's happening where in the town, he can more or less drop people where he needs to drop them, or drop them back with their squad elements, so that way it's more organized as well. So that's another big job of PSG on the battlefield, as well as like I said, managing that battle space of his platoon. Like I said, if the PL is busy, because you got to remember, what we'd like to have happen is that PL is kind of up in the front. basically managing the battle space, while the PSG is kind of in the rear of the element of the formation, kind of making sure there's no stragglers, no people are falling behind, um, and just making sure to keep the echelons of command there. Because obviously, if the front of the element where the PL's at just gets completely fucked up, then the PSG is still there to take charge, so on and so forth, and keep pushing that platoon into the fight and accomplish the mission. Um, Kind of talking on the rank of sergeant or staff sergeant, because I think all of our PSGs are. Actually, no, we got a PSG that's a sergeant, we got a PSG that's a staff sergeant, and a PSG that's a sergeant first class. So we'll just go over both. So yeah, sergeant, like I said, is that it's still a new NCO, but like I said, you're going up from corporal to sergeant. It's a very it's more senior than corporal. So you're moving up the pole, but most PSGs are going to be at least in our unit here are going to be senior sergeants or staff sergeants or junior sergeant first classes, because sergeant first class is basically the leading role that moves directly up to. We don't have master sergeants here, at least not yet, but moving up to first sergeant, which is good. The rank of first sergeant is a duty position and a rank, which is where you're going to be a first sergeant in charge of the company. So that E7, that sergeant first class, is basically prepping someone to become a first sergeant. Well, staff sergeants basically working their way to becoming sergeant first classes, and on the road as well, becoming uh, uh, Perk, you can go to the public session if you need and remove him.
All right.
Actually, wait, is Punisher still in here?
I am.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
Punisher, you can handle it.
Okay, I got you, bro.
Anyways,
Shout out
yeah, like I was saying, just to go over the ranks a little bit, like it's basically that just how important rank of sergeant, staff sergeant, and sergeant first classes are, especially in that position as a PSG. We got any more questions on the role as PSG or the ranks that they fulfill as well? Perk, no questions?
No questions at all, sir.
Oh yeah, too easy. Any questions about anything else you guys got today, or is it y'all somewhat understand stuff? I don't expect y'all remember everything, but at least expect y'all to kind of some of this jog y'all's memory, so that way y'all can kind of get a fix of what these positions do. Because someday you could possibly find yourself in a position like this. So it's best to have this knowledge tucked away in your hip pocket than not have it at all. Do people feel like they learned something here today?
I did
Definitely.
personally.
Something
I
they
I
did?
wrote
Oh,
it
yeah.
down actually. A lot of the stuff.
Okay, Fox, what's something that you learned?
Took some notes.
I learned that the platoon sergeant doesn't need to be in the front with everyone and pretty much just like trying to keep everything in track all together for all the squads in his unit or the platoon.
Dope.
Pretty much.
Perk, what'd you learn?
How team leads, first off, what Fox said, and also how team leads and squad leads are supposed to know their guys, not necessarily better than the PSG and the PLs, but how well they're supposed to know their guys. So that's something I'm gonna start getting my squad leads to do.
Okay, dope. Big T, I know you got here kind of late. Did you anything that you didn't know?
Nah, I knew some of it. I just got here like 5 minutes ago. So,
What am
Okay.
I looking for here in this thing?
Banning OG nukes.
I already
What'd
did
you say?
that.
Oh, you already
Oh,
did
you
it?
already. Okay, never
I
mind.
did it. I got a message and I went and handled it.
Like, I don't
Okay,
see him in here.
Skinny. Did you learn anything new?
I did. I learned that squad leads can actually conduct training. I didn't know that before. And I also learned where to sort of be as a squad lead.
Okay, Destiny. I know you got here kind of late. Did you hear anything that you didn't know?
I guess I'm kind of in the boat the same as Big T, but like Skinny just informed me that being a squad lead, I can like conduct training. So because that's one of the things I wanted to know. Well, like, is like what rank do I need to be? Like, what rank requirement do I need to be in? To like help like train and get summon the new people.
Yeah, there is
and
no rank
get them
requirement.
places.
As long as you have like a legit lesson plan, which I have a template, and most of your leadership has the template for. Well, they have the template for the operation, so I actually need to put together a template for hosting a training. So I'll actually put one of those out and I'll push it out to the PLs and PSGs. And all you really have to do is basically fill out that template so that way there's a legit training plan and it has to get signed off by your PL or PSG saying, hey, I read his training plan and what he plans on teaching. It looks legit and he can teach that lesson. As long as as long as it's a legit training that can be done and people are gonna learn some shit from it, then yeah, you're more than free to host that shit, especially at your squad level, or then obviously as well at your platoon level.
I have one
What if
thing.
you're a team lead?
What's up, Perk?
Any of you that wasn't here to hear the entire lecture, I've recorded it, so it'll be up on the YouTube channel for you to watch.
I will definitely check that out.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Dope.
That
Perk, how
was-
long was the video? How long did I go on rambling?
47 minutes, 48 minutes.
Holy shit.
Hell
Has it
yeah.
really been that long?
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like it's that long.
I really feel like an officer now.
It wasn't like one of those things where it felt like I'm tired and I want to get out of here. Like I felt like shit was actually getting done.
Okay, dope. Clop Tuck or Doms, I know you kind of actually. I think Clop Tuck was here for most of the thing, and Doms kind of showed up. Did you guys learn to hear anything that you guys didn't know about?
Not really, but I know I joined kind of late. I relatively agree with the majority of the answers that are in this party, but other than that, it was good.
Okay, dope. Clop Tuck, you. Clop Tuck. I guess someone's AFK. Dope. Anyways, yeah. Any other questions before we dismiss this here? Like I said, this is just the first time I'm doing it. I don't really have a document together for it. I do have a 130 slide PowerPoint, but I decided not to use that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.